What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. The final week of the 2025 regular season is here, and we're starting it off with a kicked baseball. That was the first of two haunting web gems by Jacob Young. Haunting because they might have cost the Mets their season. Nolan Arenado's days in a Cardinals uniform are probably over, and how do we know that? Well, he was taken out for a standing ovation, and after the game, he basically confirmed that, yeah, he's out. Corbin Carroll just became the first Diamondback player ever to put up these stats. He and Tatis have been machines this year. Who's the best right fielder in the National League? Is it still Juan Soto, or does the defense of Tatis and Carroll make it closer? I completely forgot to mention that Raleigh hit another one, and this double play from the 6'7" rookie freak Bryce Eldridge might have saved the Giants their hopes at making it to October. So we'll get into all of that and more in today's MLB recap. We recap every baseball game almost every single day, so keep growing the game with me. Leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy, but we'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about all of yesterday's games in just a second, but because I didn't get to post yesterday, I didn't get to talk about Raleigh's 57th home run. He officially owns the Mariners' single-season record. He passed Ken Griffey Jr., and by the way, to end that game, Robles, he walked it off with the web gem. It finally happened. Mike Trout hit his 400th career home run, and it was a big boy home run, 485 feet, one of the furthest baseballs he's ever hit in his entire life. It's crazy that Mike Trout's worst season ever is still going to be 22 to 25 home runs with a 360 on base. That's how good he is. We have some health updates around the game of baseball. Reed Garrett and Tyler McGill. Yes, two Mets players. They're probably going to need Tommy John. Brandon Woodruff. This is a big-time L if you're a Brewers fan. He's going on the IL with some sort of issue, and Will Smith, same thing. He has a hand issue right now. And then some roster updates. Nate Pearson, who a lot of people thought was going to be like the next Garrett Cole, he has been DFA'd by the Cubs. And Charlie Morton, Uncle Charlie, he's been DFA'd by the Tigers. Now let's get back to the games from yesterday. I guess that Raleigh just does not like the number 57. Maybe he's like me, where I just can't have the volume on my TV on an odd number. It has to be even because he hit his 58th home run. That was after Victor Robles worked a bases on a walk and J.P. Crawford unloaded on a hanging curveball to unload the bases. It's a grand slam, his second grand slam of the season. His OPS is 100 points higher this year than it was in an embarrassing 2024. His OPS is up over 200 points compared to last year. He has 58 home runs and 121 runs batted in. He has an 8.8 F4 compared to Aaron Judge's 9.2. So a whole lot closer than the Baseball Reference Wars. Who's the MVP if the season ended right now? Zach Cole. The rookie just won't stop. 443 feet. He has 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in his first 10 career games. That was the only run off of Logan Gilbert and the Mariners' starting staff this series. Logan has 168 strikeouts and 126 innings this year. Isaac Paredes, I'm going to show this for my Astros fans, even though they still got swept. Isaac, he's trying to get hot right before the playoffs if they even make it. The Astros are 3 games back in the West, but they're still in the wild card, I think. Now, just a few moments ago, we talked about Raleigh's 57th, Mike Trout, all that different stuff. I purposely left out the fact that Cleveland swept a doubleheader to win their 9th and 10th game in a row. They became one of a handful of teams ever to have a 10-game winning streak and a 10-game losing streak in the same season, but now they're going for 11, and if they do that, Houston will be on the outside looking in. Kwani, he lifted out a leadoff tater, his 11th home run of the season, so that's his 11th home run. We're going for win 11. I'm a Guardians fan, you guys know that, so it has to happen, right? Bo Naylor, he has 13 RBIs his last 6 games, but then Cody Clemens, his dink job started the end of the streak. It is 2-1. The Guardians deployed 4+ ERA Matt Festa, and Brooks Lee showed why it's just not a good idea to pitch Matt Festa right now. He launched a go-ahead 2-run no-doubter. Royce Lewis came up as a pinch hitter, and I'm not gonna lie, this celebration kind of triggered me. Like, bro, you're 22 games under 500. You barely avoided a sweep, but I don't want to be the fun police. I'm gonna let him have that. A 3-run pinch hit home run. The Twins do end the streak at 10 games. The Guardians and the Astros are tied for the final wildcard spot. Remember, though, the Guardians, they're not the only AL Central top dog in a streak. The Tigers, they've lost 5 games in a row, but they can get back to a 2-game lead in that division if they avoid a sweep, but Atlanta's also streaking. They won 8 in a row. Ronald Bloopton, Vidal Brujan, and Ha-Sung Kim, he actually might get to opt out because of how good he's been as a Brave. He's batting .315 with an almost 140 OPS plus as a Brave. Drake Baldwin, Riley Green tried his best. We love the effort, but that's an RBI triple. Spencer Strider, he kept on getting out of jams. He had 6 strikeouts, and he kept the ball on the ground, so even though there were base runners everywhere, he went 5 scoreless. Albies, he's having a second half of the ages. Michael Harris drove in another on an RBI double. Kim had another RBI. The Braves do win their 8th in a row, and thank God, because the Guardians, they stay at 1 game back of the Tigers for that Central. I mean, 1 game for the top crown is crazy at this point of the season. Also, starting tomorrow, the Tigers face off against the Guardians in Cleveland, a 3-game series for their lives. We're going to talk about the Red Sox as well as the Reds back-to-back, but I do want to mention that if the Guardians and the Astros stay tied, the tiebreaker would go to the Guardians because the Guardians are 4-2 against the Astros this year, so keep that in mind. The Red Sox, they want to put some extra cushion between them and the Astros. All this yapping as Christopher Morel laced a 2-run double down the line. Wong, man, he dropped a bounce pass from Alex Bregman. I'm not necessarily blaming Wong. That was not a great feed from Bregman, but it's 3-0 Rays. Nick Fortes, he did not drop a throw. What a fantastic relay from Morel to the infielders back to home. The Rays, they hose Romy Gonzalez at home. Rafaela, he got one back on an RBI double when Brandon Lowe got that run back. His 30th, I think that's his second time going 30-plus home runs in a single season. Bregman and Romy, they're about to make it a one-run game. And as you can see, Trevor Story, as he scampered home and slid in, he dabbed up the umpire. I've never seen that in my life. Morel, this game's a wrap. Morel drove in 2 more RBIs, so a 4-RBI game keeps the Red Sox at just 1 game up on the Stros and the Guardians. Look at this photograph. Okay, it's just the graphic. Also, I'm sorry if I made your skin hurt because that was cringy. But the Reds are one tiny little game away from the playoffs. We're going to talk about the Mets game right after this because if the Reds win and the Mets lose, I think the Mets will be out of a playoff spot. Andrew Abbott, just like Spencer Strider, he had a lot of base runners, but he was able to escape every single time. Gavin Lux clutched up. It is 1-0 Reds. Andrew Abbott, okay, this is scary. Scary again. 2 are on. He stranded them thanks to Michael Busch dropping his PCI, so Abbott almost went 5 shutout. The bullpen clutched up for the next hour and a half. We're in the 9th inning now, and the Cubs still have nothing. Tony Santillan, he struck out 2 to end it. The Reds just swept the Cubs. They've won 5 in a row. We got to go find the Mets game now. Here we go, baby. Nut up or shut up time for the Mets. The heat is on. Dalen Lyle, this dude can flat out motor. He looked like a blur on this Jorge Alfaro double. McNeil, he took his eye off this next baseball. It is a throwing error, and I'm going to put that in air quotes because to me, Jeff took his eye off the baseball. It should have been on Jeff, but that's not how baseball works. Nazem Nunez, he does not hit home runs. So naturally, he hit a 2-run home run versus the Mets. Now, we have, oh, this is not good. Dalen Lyle, he sprinted after a Cedric Mullins fly ball, and his knee went directly into the concrete underpart of the wall. Mullins gets an RBI. Thankfully, Lyle, he did walk off on his own power. I'm praying that he's going to be okay because he's batting .360 with an over 1,000 OPS his last 30 games. He's an absolute blast to watch. We have more fly balls to Nationals outfielders. Beatty belted it deep. Is that Jacob Young or Ronaldo? He kicked it to himself playing hacky sack out there, and no one's catching this. Francisco Lindor has 28 home runs. He is 2 away from back-to-back 30-30 campaigns. Francisco Alvarez, he drilled the baseball. This is gone if Young can't get there. This is Jacob freaking Young we're talking about. 71% of Earth is covered by water. The other 29% is covered by Jacob Young. Parker, he gets a 10-out save. We got to talk about the standings now. The Reds and the Mets, just like the Guardians and the Astros, are tied for the final wildcard spot. But get this, just like the Guardians are 4-2 against the Astros, so if it stays tied, it would go to the Guardians. The Reds are 4-2 against the Mets. The Mets have the Cubs next. The Reds have the Pirates. So advantage in terms of just playing a bad team goes to the Reds. And again, they have the tiebreaker. Oh my God. Do not forget about the Diamondbacks, though. If they win, they'll be just 1 game back of the Mets and the Reds. It's already 1-0 on a Corbin Carroll RBI fielder's choice. Ketel's up with the bases loaded, and of course, he hit a laser beam up the gut for 2 more. He has 52 extra base hits and 70 RBIs. Imagine if he did not miss 30-plus games. Corbin, he's the second guy in the video with 4 RBIs. He went lefty-lefty for a prodigious 430-foot home run. He has 31 home runs on top of 31 doubles, 17 triples, 29 stolen bases, 10 outs above average, and a whopping 6.5 FWAR. Who's the team MVP if you're a Diamondbacks fan? Corbin Carroll or Geraldo Perdomo? The 5'6" short king, Jose Barrosa, he wears the number 1. He just hit his first home run, and Corbin, he just made some history. He just became the first Diamondback ever. I thought that Steve Finley did this back in the day, but I was way off. Corbin is the first Diamondback ever with a 30-30 season. Eduardo Rodriguez, Erod, he was carving all day. 6 shutout with 5 strikeouts. Tim Tawa Taters are back. That's kind of all you need to see for this game. The Snakes are one game back of the playoffs after unloading a bunch of their roster. So we're halfway through the video. I just wanted to give a shout out to the sponsors of this channel, SeatGeek. Be sure to use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets, even at NFL games or concerts. Use code Fuzzy. And if you like fantasy sports, don't forget to download Underdog Fantasy with code Fuzzy. You can even just point your phone at the screen if you're watching on TV and scan the code. It's that easy. They got baseball, football, any sport that you can think of, gaming, literally everything's on Underdog, so download it today and have some fun. We have multiple fan bases around the league that are losing years off of their lives, and Jays fans are not one of those fan bases. They just clinched a playoff berth. Andres, he got it going with a 3-run second inning as Heineman laid down a sac bunt after that, and Springer, he drove in one on a double. This Carter Jensen kid, I know the Royals lost, but he has 11 RBIs his first 14 games. The exit velocities and bat speeds are monstrous so far. He's a catcher, by the way. Vladdy, he missed the home run by a few inches. This one is a 2-run heat-seeking double. That's his 34th double. Barger, he is just behind. He traded places with his 31st double of the year. The Royals, they did make it a close-ish game as Michael, Salvi, and Randall, they all drove in RBIs, but the Jays, they pushed it back to a 3-run lead thanks to the former Guardian squad. Ernie Clement, a former Guardian, scores Miles Straw, another former Guardian, and then Andres scored Ernie. Just Guardians all over the place. Andres had a triple, by the way. He has a 64 OPS plus, though. I had to get that in because I got mocked endlessly the first week of the season when he had 3 home runs in his first 4 or 5 games. Jeff Hoffman converted his 32nd save as the Jays, again, like I said, they punched their ticket to playoffs. The Royals are 6 games back, so their odds at making it is at less than 0.1%. So they're essentially mathematically eliminated. The Yankees are on the complete opposite. They are at 99.9%, and Cam Schlittler, the rookie, he was great again. Same with Kyle Bradish. These guys, they're going to be dueling each other for the next half decade. This Schlittler kid has to be one of the most unfun at-bats in all of baseball. There he is striking out the side. He only allowed 1 run, and it was a long run. Samuel Basallo with an instant home run. He has 15 RBIs his first 27 big league games. And Rice, he tied it. Bradish, he had put the Yankees in a blender up to this point, but Carlson, he cost himself a chance at the play at the dish. By the way, Bradish and Schlittler, they combined for 15 strikeouts in this game. Now, this game did need some free baseball. Ben Rice, he led everyone in the recap with 5 runs batted in. He had the grandest of swings. His 24th is a grand slam. Jazz, man, this guy is so much fun to watch. 31 home runs. Volpe even drove in a run. He has 5 base hits and 2 stolen bases his last 4 games. The Yankees are 2 games back of the Jays for first place, so still some time to try and steal that crown. I'm going to cut a lot of fat in this Padres game and just focus on the big names because Nando, he went yard against his old team. He went 432 feet, by the way. Sorry for bringing that up, but, I'm a Guardians fan. You guys have plenty of ammo for bad trades. Just let me have it. Tatis is up to 23 home runs, 32 stolen bases, and that Gold Glove defense out there in right field. Michael King, this is big for him. I know it's the White Sox, but the White Sox offense has been pretty good. He went 5 scoreless. Mason Miller was not great. It's 3-2 because, he walked a few guys in. Robert Suarez, he had a relaxing 1-2-3 9th inning for his 40th save. The Padres take it. The Padres are sitting pretty in the wild card regardless, but it would be fun to make Dodgers fans sweat. I'm not a Dodger hater, but I just want to see everyone sweat because I'm sweating. The Giants, they can help with that, and Trevor McDonald was on the bump. I didn't know that Trevor McDonald existed, but he's taking on Emmett Sheehan, who looks like the next Ross Stripling. Do not disrespect Ross, by the way. He was a demon back in 2017, 2018, and 19. Emmett had 10 strikeouts with no walks, just 1 base hit. McDonald, he went 6 scoreless, but he did try for 7. He walked Muncy, then he allowed Pages the single, and now Conforto. Yeah, so it's 1 earned run for Trevor McDonald. He still had a really good game. Conforto is coming off a 3-hit performance, so he's kind of turning it around right before the playoffs. Spencer Bivens, I can't remember how to say it, he bailed at McDonald, and this was a sick play from the rookie Bryce Eldridge. He snagged it and then threw it for a double play. The Giants, they then used that momentum flipper. Bailey, he had a pinch hit RBI double. It's 1-1. The Dodgers then walked Devers because first base was open. That is the smart move, but then Trinan, he walked Willy Adames. Chapman had an RBI ground out. Blake Trinan is up to a 5.55 ERA this year. The Dodgers bullpen has been stinky in the second half. Ryan Walker, he shut it down for a 16 save. The Giants are 3 games back of the wild card. The Padres, they're still 3 games back of the Dodgers in the West. Is this the final game for Nolan Arenado in a Redbirds uniform? So that contract, it's shrinking season by season after this year, which again confirms that he's going to get traded. They took him out early. He's getting a standing ovation. Ivan Herrera, he dropped another hammer. See ya, baseball. He's swings an actual hammer. He is so good. Jose Fermin with a mean swing. He hit one off the wall, almost took it down for another RBI. Matthew Liberatore, he had 6 strikeouts over 5. He's got disgusting stuff when he's on. He's not on very often, but when he is, man, watch out. The Cardinals, they're still technically in, but we have to talk about Nolan Arenado. Also, completely forgot to mention that even with that Brewers L, because the Cubs lost as well, the Brewers, they do clinch a division spot, so they win the NL Central. Look at them celebrating. Now, after that Cardinals game, Nolan Arenado basically said how much fun he's had in the Cardinals uniform, blah, 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 but he did give this quote. He said, listen, I feel like this organization needs to go a different route with how they go about their business. They've got to let some of these young guys grow and see what they have, and there's no doubt that I'm in the way of that. So, I don't know what is going to happen, but I do believe that change is coming, as it should. He basically said, yeah, we have young guys on this squad, trade me. I hate saying that Arenado has been bad this year. He has an 85 OPS plus. He's going to be 35 in April next year, but he still plays awesome defense, and he's rock solid versus lefties. He almost won MVP with the Cardinals in 2022 with a sick 40 double, 30 home run, 100 RBI Gold Glove campaign, but to be honest, the last 2 seasons have really put a damper on his time there. Who's a good trade partner? Maybe like the A's or the White Sox, up-and-coming teams that could use some third baseman, veteran leadership, and some good defense. Maybe the Diamondbacks, maybe the Mariners if Gino leaves. Where do you think he's going to go? So the Cardinals are still technically alive. Same with the Marlins. Now, any slip up and it's over, but it's been fun to watch the Marlins rally over the last week and a half. The Rangers, oh man, just a brutal time to lose 7 games in a row. Otto Lopez, he banged one off the wall, and Heriberto made it 2-0. Langford, he could not get there, but he really got his workout in this game. Marcy, he laced one over the head of Wyatt Langford, and then Agustin Ramirez traded places with Jacob Marcy. This kid's insane. He has a 12-game hitting streak as a rookie catcher. The offense for the Marlins is going to be elite for years. Wyatt Langford, he went off the second deck facing. He has 22 home runs, 22 stolen bases, and wicked defense, 10 outs above average. Each team traded more runs, but George Soriano got his first save. The Marlins have won 6 in a row. They're 4 games back, same as the Cardinals, with 6 games left in the season. Man, what did the A's say to the Pirates before this series? They offended Pittsburgh somehow. Andrew McCutchen and the Buccos poured it on. This might be the final RBI from Andrew McCutchen as a member of the Pirates in PNC. Nicky Two Bags, I think, wait, that name already exists. Nicky G had an RBI 2-bagger. I think we're just going to keep it Nicky G. And the big tree, Jerry Triolo, had 4 base hits. This one's a 3-run home run. He's been playing awesome defense on top of the recent surge as of late. O'Neal Cruz, he's scoring 2 more. And Triolo, he's about to secure a 4 RBI game. Lots of force for him in this one. Joey Bart, yeah. We have a 3-run Bart Dart, 420 feet. This was the second 3-run home run for the Buccos. The Pirates take it by 11. Look at the fans out there. They have actual Pirates out there. They've shut out the A's in back-to-back games. Let's go, Trouty. Leadoff Mike Trout is doubling. He scored on a Joe Adell flare in Coors. Again, they're still in Coors Field. His old buddy Mickey Moniak just barely missed it. Adell has 96 RBIs. I need him to get to 100 somehow. It's now 1-1 on a Kyle Caro sac fly. Freeland, he carved after that early run allowed. He struck out 7, including the side and the 4th. Blaine Crim, this dude is on a tear. I think that's his 4th home run in 9 or 10 games as a Rocky. Freeland, he then got some big-time help on the strike 3 call to Adell that was 17 feet outside. And then the Rockies, they went skipping rocks on this double play. What a crazy conversion right there. Blaine Crim with the pick at first base. Easy game. Victor Vodnik now has 10 saves. And that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy. Enjoy the Web Gems.
Here in the 5th as Peterson yanks one towards first. Line drive, right center field. Lucas caught it!
On the ground, right side, a rise to the backhand. Suarez will cover for the out. That's out number 2 of the 9th inning.
Ramos coming in, and he dives. Swinging the line drive, right center field. Sano will dive. Oh, he caught it.